Okay, hello. This is Mrs. Hannah. I'm your librarian, and I've got this LibGuide here. Actually, I'm working on this ProQuest news stream. It's one of our giant databases, and it's all about the news. So it pulls news from online, also newspapers and their digital versions of their newspapers, major newspapers like the New York Times, um, Wall Street Journal, LA Times. There are just so many all over the world. It's global. So this should be very helpful. Now that's a lot of sources, so I'm going to show you exactly how to filter everything down so that you get something that's more usable, okay, because it does cover a lot of places and information. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is look up information about the recent United States presidential elections. So I've already typed it out. I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so it's very simple, natural language use here, and we want to make sure that it's going to talk about the 2024 elections and specifically the presidential elections. And we had to put United States in there because this is a global database. And let's try it out. I'm going to put full text here because I know I want that. We want basically the news, so we're going to stay away from peer-reviewed for right now. So let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Okay, so we've got a lot of results. There's over 305,000 results. So yes, I want it to sort by its relevance, by our question, our search terms that we put in. And we want to, let's say the last 12 months. With that full text, I'm looking through here for all of the possible filters that we could use. Let's go ahead and say we want it to be English. We want the language of the articles to be in English to make it a little simpler for us, right? Okay, let's check out this one. I click the more, and this gives us other sources because it also includes books and scholarly journals, but we want basically the news right now. So we want to include newspapers. You could put blogs and podcasts, but I would hold off on that because we want to look at it specifically as the news, where you have journalists writing the articles. Because you could get podcasts on just random people. They could also be journalists, but you don't want to have a lot of that yet, unless you're specifically looking for those types of sources. Okay, so we're going to leave it alone that we want it to be newspapers. Okay, so that brought it down quite a bit. So these are all of our filters that we have. Okay. All right now. Okay, so what we have here, we can go through and look. You don't want to look at each and every one. Just go by the headlines and see if they interest you. Okay, how accurate are the polls? That's a very interesting. That will be very interesting. That is always a topic, no matter what year of elections that we're researching. So these would be the polls that are done before the election. So they're taking polls of people who are voting early, or they're calling, different parties are calling people on the phone and asking how they're going to vote. The problem with polls, you've probably heard by now, is that you don't know if the people answering the phone are telling you truthfully what they think. Okay, so almost always difficult to determine if they're accurate. Okay, so this one is from Asia. Now, I don't know yet if we want to, I think I do need to change it because these are all from another country. Let's see. Okay, yeah, these are way too much. So, I'm just looking at the possible filters we could do. Um, see what happens when I go to more. All right, let's just stick with, we could include USA Today, why not? New York Times. Actually, maybe a better way to do this is to exclude certain ones. Let's exclude the Telegraph for the UK, the Times of India. Wall Street Journal, we want that. Let's take out Hindustan Times. Okay, and there's probably a lot more. Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing that they're including so many that, we may be, let's go ahead and include, these are major ones here, the Boston Globe, Chicago Tribune, New York Times. Well, let's just do that for today, for this time. So we'll include these others. Okay. Well, we included the Washington Post and Wall Street Journal too. Okay, so let's just go with this one and apply. Okay, so now they're showing here on the left-hand side frame. Okay. These are the ones that we're not including, where it says not. Okay? All right, so that's a much easier way to go about this. All right. Analysis. Okay, so you just generally look and see if any of these spark your interest, and you just start opening some. You may open one at a time. Okay, there's your full text. All right. And this is going to be up to you which ones you choose to read and either download, or you can save them as a PDF. Yeah, let's talk about these. These are the tools that you can use. So the PDF, you can save it, and then you might want to go ahead and look up that citation. And we want not the APA, we want MLA. And we want the MLA 9th edition. I'm not sure, I'm just going to go. Let's just do this one. Okay, so you may remember this from your last year when you came down here to the library and we kind of showed you some things on research and databases. They all have tools like these, so you might want to copy, and then you want to have, let's say, your drive open. Let's say maybe not that. You can copy the whole thing, but what we want to do here is create a document. Okay, so, oh, I don't need this. Stay out of my way. Okay, well, you guys get the idea. You want to start a document and post your. this being very tricky. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to mess around with this anymore. So you guys are be much smarter with this than I am. Okay. So that's how you would use these. You'd start your works cited. You may end up not using this article. Okay. Yeah, but at least you've got something started. You've got the citation. In fact, I'm just going to show you how I would do it. I'm old school, as you probably guessed. I would just do it in Word because it's not going to require a whole bunch of other clicks. It's one thing I don't like about Google. Okay. Okay, so there we are. There's your works cited begun. Whether or not you actually use that article, but it's there. And save that. And let's say we saved it as a PDF. I'm not going to do it here, but we went ahead and saved this article because we thought it might be helpful. You can save it to your Google Drive. It should show you that. Yeah. Okay, which I'm not going to do at the moment. Okay, but that's what I would do. It looks like it wanted to save it to our computer rather than Google Drive, so there might be other options. You could copy the URL to it and get to it that way. Okay? So we are done with that, and then what you want to do is go back to your results and look for some more. Okay, here's your battleground states. That might be very interesting. Any of these. The party, under which party they're talking about. Okay, and remember there are going to be biases in any media, any media that we're searching, and particularly news media. You're going to be determining that for yourself using your critical thinking skills. Okay, and I'll leave you to that. So that's it for this example. Just know you can always reach out to me through my email, ahannah@loyolahs.edu, or come by the library sometime. Okay? Bye-bye now.